te vayas.
I remember.
La muerte.
My brother, if you ask me what my brother means to me, I think he means the world to me. Both personally and artistically. He is a person that I feel like if he wasn't in my life, I wouldn't be as good as I am today. No, pero lo que yo quería hacer, buscar amarte, pero no le llegó. No te vayas, que en el camino muchos pasos más nos faltan, con pelo gris y con la piel bien arrugada, que tú seas mía y que yo sea para ti. Que tú seas mía y que yo solo sea para ti. O sea, porque
that's so sweet. Que tú seas mía y que solo...
We would do like these competitions in the car to see who can do the harmony faster.
Yeah. Who could last the longest?
Who could last, obviously me.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously me. It was really funny because my brother and I, like, we've always had that, like, competition.
But healthy.
But a healthy competition. And we've always had that support because it's not a competition where it's like, oh, you fall, I'm going to, like, see you fall. No. Like, it's, you fall, I pick you up, I fall, you pick me up.
You fall, I pick you up, loser. And then, yeah, like that.
And then, like...
So we have to, like,
we
have to be a
have
little
to
passive
spite
aggressive.
a little bit. When you had more followers than I did on Instagram.
This was a long
time ago.
Like 4 million followers ago.
No, but you had like more followers than
I always
me.
had like 10,000 more. 10,
and he would always be like, haha, I have more followers than you. I have more followers than you.
Was I wrong?
Were you wrong? And then like it started happening and I'm like, I have 1 million more than you. We had this house in Mexico City, okay? And it was basically the weirdest thing you would ever see because it was like a hidden gem in the city. And it had its own arena for whatever you had to do. It had stables, it had 2 houses, it had a tennis court. It was like literally, we never went out of that house. And like, let's say for Halloween and stuff, my mom would celebrate it. So what we would do is that we would go around to the house and let's say like there were the workers' houses and there were my grandfather's houses and every worker would have candy. So we would go trick-or-treating in our own house. Before the pandemic started, I was in my house 3 days a week and then the rest I would be touring. I was so busy. And now that I've been here for so long, obviously you miss being like in the city and having your friends and making everything a little easier. Like here, I don't know, let's say the next day shipping thing says it takes 2 weeks. So I live in Los Angeles, but ever since the pandemic started, I've been living in Zacatecas. I really enjoyed being here. It's very, very different from my house in LA, obviously. Here it feels like home. Also, here is more inspiring. When I get here, I feel more connected to my roots. No es evitable, eso es lo que siento. Tú solo me elevas y me tiras hasta el suelo.
What's
Do. No es evitable el pensarte tanto. No, G. No es evitable el pensarte tanto. No me amaste, solo me quisiste un rato. Aunque me sienta tonta, yo debo aceptar que si me imaginaba junto a ti poder estar, me sobraron las ganas, aposté por ti. Nunca me imaginaba que tú fueras así. Lo triste es que el despecho me acerca más a ti, sabiendo que jamás darás lo mismo que te di. And then we go to our dad and we're like so excited to show him the song and then he's like,
yeah, I like it.
I like it. Good job.
But that means a lot.
But that means a lot. Yeah, because my dad is not going to be like, oh my God, this is the most amazing song in the world. He's going to be like, I like it. It's good. Let's record it. Yeah. And then you're like, oh my God, he likes my song.
Para ti siempre seré el que la regó, el que dijo adiós, que no sé qué, y el porqué que no nací para tener Haz como quieras, que no te importe lo que hasta ahí voy. Ya no me importa, ya no siento más por ti. Por eso tú estás tratando de hacer que te...
No, tú y yo, we came up with that. Por eso tú
But I don't even know where it is.
te quedarás solita por andar.
That's so good. Cierto.
My father, he performed in the rodeo when he was 2-3 years old. My grandfather would strap him onto a horse and he would like follow him and he would like sing. I don't know if he sang a song when he was that young, but I know that he was part of the rodeo because it was like the family Mexican rodeo. This is the traditional saddle. If you look at the details, these chairs take months to make because everything is handmade. And everything has a purpose. There is nothing that is just for show in the saddle. These have been around my family for like 2 generations. And my father, he had some issues with my grandfather because he wanted to start his own legacy of charros. And my grandfather thought it was very, very dangerous because the charro sport is a very, very dangerous thing that you have to do because you're working with horses and bulls and cows. It's like basically what they used to do in ranches and camps and stuff, put into a sport. And my father had a team. There's a pose that they do, which is 2 horses are running by each other. And you go from one horse to the other while you're controlling both of them. It's a very dangerous sport, you know? And my grandpa didn't want that to happen. So my dad kind of like didn't listen. And he was like, I'm going to do this for myself. And he won. It was a really, really big deal. And the really, really big deal should not have phones on top of the big deal, but like, it's at home, so it doesn't really matter. People literally still come up to him and tell him about how they saw this and how proud they are and how they wish that they could do it again. And because from that day, nobody's ever won from Zacatecas. So, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
¿Que repetimos eso?
I would do another.
Puede que.
No. Puede que. You're so stupid. One time I saw there was these 2 little girls in the front stage and they had like haircut like me and they had their dresses.
Aww.
And when I sang La Chancla, they started going. And they started going like this.
That means that when they're home,
They
in
were
the kitchen, they
practicing.
randomly go like this.
They go like this. Because it's what I did. This one, basically, it's all hand painted and it's a Frida Kahlo inspired dress. The Mexican culture is so extensive and so beautiful that, like, if you go to Mexico, it's not just a regular place. Like, if you go to Mexico, everything like the saddle has meaning and everything is there for a specific reason, even though I might not understand it. For me, it's very, very important. Much if I have, like, a widespread of fans that are very young and that are very impressionable, I have to be a good influence and I have to show them what is going on. And because I know that I didn't hear my parents because they were way older than me. So I feel like me being a younger generation and me being younger and just more alike with them, I can connect with them and do certain things that they would normally not see. When I was like 9, I would never see a young person be on a stage and sing this type of music, and it was very worrying for me because I was just like, well, I got to live that because of my family, but like, I don't know, my cousins, my 5, 6, 7-year-old cousins, what are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna know history and traditions that we literally have in our blood that we just can't see? I feel like traditions and culture are just a doorway, and you just have to be willing to open it. Por eso tú y yo ya no estamos juntos. No quería estar con alguien que estuviera disgusto. Que me taches de un minuto de tono inmaduro. Ya no importa tus reclamos ni el amor lo juro. Una palabra, ni un reclamo, ni un regaño. Mañana no estarán. Por eso.
No.
Por eso
first part, chorus. We go back to the verse, and then y es junto.
Yeah, no bridge. I like that.
I like it.
Ooh, I like it. I like my style, baby. I've been working on my new album, and all of the songs that I've done in the past have been traditional and have been already known. And this is the first time I'm going to do like something like mine. I don't really like sharing too much about my life, and this album is like literally my diary. All the songs that you hear on this were made specifically for this piano. And what happens is that this piano is super not in tune, so it gives it a flair. That's gonna be my album. My album Primero Soy Mexicana got released, and I got a Grammy nomination, and I got 2 Latin Grammy nominations, and I go to my dad, and he goes, well, you won this one, like you got a Grammy nomination before me. And then when I lost it, he's like, but you didn't win. I still beat you there.
I can tell you how old I was when I started driving around these places.
Well, how old are you?
I was 8.
That's illegal.
Yeah, but, you know, that was back then.
What I think my father is, I think he's like a frustrated rocker with a Mexican soul. I think that's what it is.
I'm a frustrated rocker with a Mexican soul. No, I'm not frustrated in anything. I do whatever I want with my music.
That's true.
How can I describe you? You're no, I think you're very, now her music, it's a process in the making. Your great-grandparents are buried right behind you. Not in the truck.
Yes, but it sounded so creepy the way you said it right now.
You know, there
are the dead of the grandfathers behind you.
No, but there are Aguilars that were buried there almost 400 years ago. So every time that you come here, try and feel the energy of generations and generations and generations of people, generations of dreams, of hard work, of craziness, of ideas, of values, of support. You cannot buy tradition. It's not for sale. So if you inherit it, use it. It's cool to know where you're coming from and what supports you. But then you can use that anywhere else you go.
Yeah, because you can let your traditions grow into new traditions.
Or you can mix them with different ones and still have your values, still have your base, your structure. If it's toxic, if it's a tradition that limits you, like I said, then
discard it.
I don't like that. But it's good to know where you're coming from. Appreciate where you come from, but then mix it with who you are and where you're at. And then teach that to the new generations. Because a lot of youngsters are not following any kind of tradition. It's sad for them, but it's even sadder for the tradition because it goes extinct. Bring it to the times. Bring the best of that tradition to the reality right here. And it's your responsibility to preserve the things that you care for. Hey, watch the paint job. It's brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
don't compromise your music, you know, with other people's fears or tags or stereotypes. Just do what you feel kick some butt.
Very dramatic. And I'm nervous. I don't like people singing into my heart. What's that? Terrible.
Oh my God! Look at his help! Help!
Stop it. I was ready driving. Why are you being so rude? I don't have my license though. So it's not so illegal in Mexico. So it's okay. I was driving and I crashed in front of the church while they were in the ceremony. The whole town feels like they're like my cousins and my uncles, so there's just like this